When I was on NoFap, I actually documented how I felt and the benefits of doing NoFap throughout days and weeks and even months. I documented everything from how long my streak was to how long I didn't jerk off, okay? It was basically like a time when I was very focused on this one thing and I wanted to make sure that I could accomplish it. So I documented the benefits which I personally received, and now I'm making this video to hopefully inspire and motivate someone that's on NoFap, because it might seem hard right now, but day by day it gets easier. And exactly the first day that you start NoFap is the day your journey begins. In the first 24 hours of me doing NoFap, I felt horrible. I felt like I had a lot of brain fog. I couldn't think straight. And every single minute, I'm not exaggerating this, I kept getting the urges. They were going more and more. In the first 24 hours, every time I would eat after dinner, the urge would come. I would go take a shower, the urge would come. It kept on coming until I was just like, you know what? I have to keep fighting this. First 24 hours completed. A lot of people say that the hardest part is going to be maintaining it, but for me personally, it was starting NoFap. The first day, the first 24 hours of NoFap was going to be the hardest, and I knew that very well. But once I completed the first day, we then went on to the next 48 hours. The next 48 hours of NoFap, when you are on this, is going to be the most distasteful. It is going to have so much brain fog. You're going to lose and feel so inconfident in yourself that it's actually going to be mentally draining. You're probably going to feel really tired. You're probably going to feel like, hey, I shouldn't even be trying this because it's not worth it, because, you know, I am not that strong of a person or will-minded. But those are just the urges that are tempting you to fall into the trap once more. The first 48 hours, you have to really dedicate yourself to spending as much time outdoors and doing productive things, because it's way better to be going outside and going to the gym than staying inside of your room and then accidentally getting the urges. If you do nothing, the urges are going to stay in your mind the entire time. They aren't going to go away. They're not going to get quieter. They're not just going to magically disappear. You have to make the urges disappear by doing productive things. So in the first 48 hours, just try reading a book, going outside for a walk, talking to some friends. You are going to feel a little bit awkward when you're talking to friends, but that's just because it's the first 48 hours. So don't worry about that. You will feel more confident later on. Between day 3 and day 6, this is when I actually started noticing a little bit of a confidence boost in myself. Before, I couldn't even talk to the people in my school and my friends without being awkward and stuttering. But then on day 6 and day 5, I actually started to approach people, which I wasn't really doing that much, like that often before. But now with this new sudden boost of confidence, I was able to do that. And the best part about this is I was actually starting to feel good about myself. This was the first time where I actually had a motivation and the drive to do something, right? Approaching people, getting into these social interactions to actually boost my self-improvement journey. That's when I realized that, hey, maybe I can do NoFap for who knows how long, right? Maybe I can do it for even a month or a year. This is the time when your confidence is starting to build and the urges actually start to get less and less. Then, in the first week of me doing NoFap, I felt a lot happier. I felt a lot better because I was no longer cooped in my room and just, watching YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, scrolling, okay? Now I was going outside, going to the gym, hanging out with friends, going out for social gatherings. This was the time that I personally was noticing that, hey, I'm no longer the person I used to be. I can now make a change within myself to increase and become the person that I'm trying to achieve. This was one of the best feelings ever, and scientifically proven. There was a Chinese study that actually said that after a week of going on NoFap and semen retention, all that, you actually start to raise your testosterone by over 140%. Yes. Being on NoFap makes your testosterone, makes you want to do things, and makes you want to conquer way more, because you are no longer being a slave to yourself and letting all your energy to be completely depleted by the end of the night. Then after the first week, I started noticing something that I didn't quite expect, right? The brain fog came back. I felt like it was getting better and better, but somehow the brain fog started coming back and I couldn't really think straight. I was only at a week, so I'm like, okay, I've already gone through this, maybe it'll go away. But for the next 48 hours, I had complete brain fog. I couldn't focus. I couldn't study. I could not motivate myself. I literally was laying on my bed asking myself, hey, I'm on NoFap. What's going on? Why am I not being motivated, right? I see all these big YouTubers and influencers talking about, hey, if you're on NoFap, you're going to get all the ultimate motivation. And here I was laying down in my bed with nothing. Couldn't think of a single video idea, couldn't do anything. Why was that? Well, the truth is, the longer you go on NoFap, and you're going to notice this, the brain fog never actually goes away and it tends to not get less, right? Yes, you do think more clearly, but the brain fog will come back. At least for me, okay? At least it didn't go away for me until like a very long time. And I think that's just because of the way that I've rooted my brain, and many of you guys have also, of watching these videos at such a young age that when you've trained your brain that, hey, if you don't go a week without this, there's something wrong with you. Personally, I think that's very horrible, which is exactly why it makes it so much more important that you start doing NoFap to be able to heal yourself and properly become the person that you're meant to be. Let's fast forward over to 1 month of NoFap. At this point, I was going to the gym consistently. I was getting my social skills even higher. I was able to approach women, talk to girls without making it too awkward. Not even too awkward. It wasn't even awkward at all. I felt like, hey, I can basically talk to anyone. People on the street that I have no clue who they are, I'd be able to even hold a conversation with them compared to literally a month ago when I couldn't even talk to my friends without stuttering and being like,
hey, I don't know, man. It's up to you.
But now, as the alpha male that I was able to talk to everyone, no hesitation, didn't even have to think twice about it. Female doesn't matter. You own $1 million business doesn't matter. At that point, I felt like I was on top of the world. And that is a feeling that I want everyone else to feel as well. When you feel this, it is an immense amount of pressure that's relieved from yourself. It is the amount of anxiety that goes away, the amount of stress that just gets completely depleted is insane. You guys should I've always said this, but I feel like every single person should go on NoFap and semen retention. If you don't already FAP, that's pretty good. But, doing that for at least a month, 30 days, and seeing what the benefits can do for you. Because I promise you, when you start noticing these benefits, it's going to come to a time when you're like, okay, it's like you're starting to ask yourself this question that, hey, why wasn't I doing this earlier, right? If I'm an 8 out of 10 now on NoFap, I could probably be a 10 out of 10, going to the gym, studying, reading books, getting my self-development up, my mentality up, my willpower up. And now as you continue to feel these emotions that you haven't felt before because you have been completely making your dopamine spike and then it goes below the line that's supposed to be there, now that's not there anymore. Now you feel like a whole new person. You feel like someone that can do anything that they put their mind to, which is why this is going to help you start that business, talk to that one girl, make sure that you're achieving all your goals. NoFap is the key. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, it's okay to FAP in moderation. There is no moderation for this. There is not, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. You can't do this in moderation, right? There is going to be people that tell you that, hey, don't worry about having the longest streak. You should just be fapping less and less every single month. And I feel like those type of people target towards like very weak people, because if I sit here and I tell you, hey, you fapped 20 times this month, but next month you should only fap 19 times because, hey, it's less than what you was before, right? So that's completely okay. And that's not the case. And all those YouTubers that say it, honestly, you guys are dog shit, okay? You guys bullshit your audience. But here's what I want to tell you. You have to pick a day, right? No, let me take that back. There is going to be a day when you're just sitting there and maybe you fapped and you're going to think to yourself the mentality of, is this the person that I want to be? Is this the person that is going to raise my future children? Is this the person that your girlfriend would want you to be? A fapper? Probably not, right? So get up and get to work now. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like maybe you should, like, here's the thing. People only fap when they have nothing else to do. So as long as you can keep yourself occupied and keep your mentality on the vision, 100% you'll succeed NoFap. You need a purpose, right? If you are someone, and I'm gonna be honest, and you're not the smartest, right? And you know you can't run a business, don't just go down the path of getting a girlfriend, going and having fun with her, and having fun with your friends. That's okay for the average person, but you don't want to be average, right? And you're going to meet people in your life that don't want that. They don't care if they have to be alone, and they don't care how long it takes, but they're going to achieve their dreams and their goals by whatever means. And NoFap is just like a little pedal stone. For you and me, it's a big deal because we have to beat this addiction. For them, they don't even think about NoFap because they don't watch those videos. They don't have time for that. They are too busy conquering the world to be thinking about such lowly things. You think you have the most beautiful girlfriend in the world, and these guys have 10 out of 10s, 10 of them, okay? $1 million, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, everything. Do you really want to compete with that person by the way you are right now? Because I'm going to be completely honest, even as I am right now, I wouldn't be able to compete with that. And I know I'm like, listen, I have an ego, okay? And I think everyone else does too. So saying that, it hurts my ego. But that's the truth. Right now, I am not at the place where I can compete with those people. Sure, in a few years, I might become that person. Then I have to compete with all the little boys that are coming up. But that's not where I am right now. Eventually, I'll get there. Eventually, you will too. But you have to lock in and focus. You only get one chance. You only get one time. This is that time. I am Kaio the Conqueror. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Is this going to be part of your new journey? And if you guys even want to keep up with me, you can follow my Instagram link down below. This is my second time recording this. Peace out.